Yo, what is going on, boys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. We're here, we're doing it. The fourth Anni news is finally in. We finally know exactly what Nami is gonna do. We actually know what V4 is gonna do. We know all the cool stuff, and we know the Sugofest details, so all that's gonna be in this jam-packed episode. So hope you guys enjoy it. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first unit on the list is going to be Dex Nami. And I have two things to say. First thing is, wow, that artwork. Oh my god. And the second thing I got to say is, we finally know what Dex Treasure Mode Kizaru is for. Finally. Nami is going to be a one-turn cooldown captain producer at the start of the adventure and boost the attack of Dex characters by 3.75. It's going to make Dex characters treat strength and quick as beneficial. Now this may seem oddly specific, and does not work on Lucy teams because of her special. The special is if the captain is a free spirit driven, cerebral, or powerhouse unit for one turn, boost the color affinity and by 1.75 and orbs by 2 times of free spirit driven, cerebral, and powerhouse characters. So you have to have a free spirit captain, a driven captain, cerebral captain, or powerhouse captain, just as a secondary captain or a primary captain ability, or whatever they call it. Overall, I do like this unit. There has been a lot of color-based legends, and there's V2 Akainu, V2 Akiji, and we had 2 of the colors really keyed in on specific type advantages for 2 different sets. And now we have the Dex one, and we have a really good Dex one. The only good one that was besides this was Zoro Sanji. So what's really interesting is Zoro Sanji came out, and it was really good, but like not perfect. And now we have Zoro Sanji for Nami. So we have a 2.25 orb booster along with a 2x orb booster here. So you can actually use a Zoro Sanji on a separate turn if you like to. You can use Zoro Sanji first for Dex Nami, whatever you want. You can even use Zoro Sanji Captain and use Nami as a sub if you really wanted to. That would be a poor decision though, unless you're gonna be popping the special first on Nami and then the special on Zoro Sanji, but you won't get the boost on Zoro Sanji, so that's kind of weird. So you can't really use Zoro Sanji's special with Nami, so that's off. It's kind of off-putting. I just don't understand that. You can use the special, but it just doesn't work for Zoro Sanji. So dual units have this really weird niche set where it's not perfect for them, and that is kind of annoying. So I'm not really a big fan of that, but Dex Kizaru is going to work perfectly as a sub here because your captain is a Dex captain and it's going to boost just Dex characters while Kizaru is Dex. So now you have a 1.75 type booster for 3 turns on your Dex Nami teams. Oh! Finally figured it out. And I just recorded my showcase video, so I'm a little sad about that, but you'll see that later if you want to check that out. And the next character we're going over is going to be Dex Sanji. His captain ability, shit, no one really cares. And his special ability is going to heal 3,000 HP and change right column into matching universally. That's great, by the way. I love that part. The right column matching is nice. And then for one turn, boost the attack of Dex, Quick, and Int characters by 1.75. Also interesting. And what's really good about this is, which I just noticed while doing this, is this is actually a perfect unit for Zoro, the 20 Zoro teams. But he's the 3rd type booster, so I mean, not perfect, but he's pretty good because he does that right column matching, but so does Diamante, so, you know, there's other units you can use, I guess, but yeah. Overall, he's okay. He's not perfect, but he does dovetail into another unit, which is coming up next. The next character we're going over is going to be the new Quick Baeju, and she brings a whole new meaning to the word Baeju. And by the way, her unevolved artwork is definitely better than her evolved artwork, and I'm not going to show it here because it's too good. The captain ability is Trash Who Cares, and the special ability is going to heal all forms of poison, and I don't really know why Poison Remover that doesn't remove all forms of poison, including Toxic. But there might be one out there. I'm pretty sure every poison removes that. Maybe there's a new form of poison that we just don't know about that's coming out. Change all left column orbs into matching, and for one turn, boost Dex, Quick, and Psy units by 1.75. Isn't that like the same as 20th Sanji, except worse? But with orb manipulation? I don't know. I guess it's okay. The next unit on the list is going to be Strength Brook, and Strength Brook is kind of interesting, I guess. He's going to do 20 times character's attack damage and typeless damage 8 times, which is basically 160 times attack damage. Not as a wave clear effect, basically just single target, but like multi-target, you know what I mean? It's a bunch of different characters. But if you're targeting one unit, I guess that's a decent amount of damage. This could be useful on Neptune teams. I'm not really sure yet. It just really depends on the turns we're going to get this character. Not sure yet, but it might be good there. When the enemy has delay protection or debuff protection, change block orbs into matching, and then boost color affinity by 1.75. So to me, this is kind of like a Colosseum Neko meets Dex Cavendish kind of thing, but with color affinity. So that's kind of interesting. But what's really good is its 1.75 universal color affinity, which is awesome. And his name is not Luffy! It's Brook! So, it's the nice thing is that this is 1.75 universal color affinity, and this is an amazing character with just that part of the special. This rivals Gear 4 Treasure Mode, in my opinion, as far as a unit goes. Okay, that's awesome. However, G4 obviously will do more damage to a single target unit, whereas the color affinity on Brook might be easier to attain because his name is not Luffy. So yay! Lucy teams will finally have a color affinity booster that is not Luffy, so you can actually use him on a Lucy team! And you can also use this on a V2 Akainu team. There's a couple other teams that I can think of, but definitely a good unit. This is probably one of the most exciting units of the batch. This next unit I am perplexed on, and I'm hoping it is not a mistranslation, and I'm hoping it's as it says. Pedro. And Pedro cuts HP by 10% of one enemy. That part I was like, oh, okay, he's gonna suck, isn't he? And then all of a sudden it was if the enemy has delay protection or debuff protection, boost attack and orbs by 1.75. And I was like, is that universal? Is that universal? Is that a 1.75 universal type and orb booster? Oh my god. Lucy team's got even better. So I don't even know what's going on with Bandai right now. They're making some crazy units. This unit will obviously work well on a V2 Aokiji team, on a Lucy team, a lot of different teams. Virtually any team that you need a rainbow type and orb booster, perfect. And that's amazing to me. That is an amazing, amazing unit. And that means that you're not going to be using Column Neko as much in future content if you do want to use this character, which is really interesting to me because there are a lot of units that are going to be full board orb changers, and you can use a lot of them. This is really interesting. So what I'm seeing here is that if you have an orb and type booster in the same unit, you can actually bring like Shirahoshi as a sub on your unit, so you can counter orb manipulation mechanics or universal weird mechanics. And that part is really interesting, and I've been holding off on candies on that character just because I'm not sure how I'm going to use her in the future. But this quick Pedro is kind of leaning me more toward attack candies because now I know I can use her as a sub on some really interesting teams. So very interested with this unit. I want to see more about what they're going to do with different units here. And this is actually probably the second best unit of the batch for the gold units. Obviously not better than Legends, but still very, very good. The next unit we're going to be going over is going to be Psy Carrot, and Psy Carrot is going to be one of the ones I actually want out of this banner right now, just as a gold unit, and I really want it for V2 Aokiji teams because she's going to be a paralysis and despair remover, which is very good. 4 turns of it, and then delay all enemies by 1 turn, which is very, very good because that'll proc Colosseum Raizo if you do want to use that. But then I kept writing on the special and I was like, oh, wait, she's even better than I thought. And this is really weird. She delays enemies, but then is a defense down booster, which is very odd to me. I didn't understand that at all. Why is it delayed and then defense down boost? That is so odd. That is the most odd unit ever. It's like the non-self-proccing conditional that can proc other conditionals but also has a conditional. What? It's also going to change all orbs into color orbs into Psy orbs and then boost attacking its defense down by 1.75. So it's a full board orb manipulator. Delays all enemies for 1 turn. It's so weird. I don't understand this unit. There's going to be a team where it's going to be perfect on, and it just makes sense. However, right now, I just don't get it. The next unit on the list is going to be Int Chopper, who we don't know the captain ability for, but we do know the special is going to be for 1 turn, reduce enemies' defense drastically, reduce 5 turns of threshold damage and cut and enrage, And for 1 turn, treat Inside Dex as beneficial. Add 0.6 to the chain multiplier. Okay, so to me, this unit is very interesting. I don't know how I feel about this unit, but for 5 turns, cut damage threshold and enrage. Okay, maybe 0.6 chain multiplier booster on that. I don't know how much future content this unit's going to be useful for, but I do know he's interesting. I don't know if he's bad or good or... He's very confusing to me. He's very confusing. I think I like him, but I'm not 100%. He's definitely damage boosting plus utility, but the utility is really weird. So I'm gonna say yes, I like this unit, but I'm feeling reserved on how useful he's gonna be in the future. And the final new unit we're going over is the brand new Quick Gear 4 Luffy. And he is definitely very complicated. So let's go into him in detail and talk a little bit about him. So his captain ability is going to be a 3 times attack and 1.25 times HP. Universal Captain. Okay. Increase the rate of strength, quick, and Psy orbs. Okay. Slightly increase the rate of recovery orbs appearing. Okay. And make quick orbs beneficial. I am with you so far. Okay. Special ability, typeless damage to all enemies for 1 turn, boost the attack by 2 times. Universal 2 times attack booster, okay. For 3 turns, treat recovery tandem orbs as beneficial. So it's a beneficial orb enabled special too, interesting. If he is a captain, friend captain, guest captain, transform into gear 4. If more than 10 recovery orbs are obtained during the adventure, transform into Tankman. The captain action is going to depend on the gear power to do a gear powered tank change transformation. So there's a transformation from eating meat orbs, a transformation from using the special, and then a transformation from the captain action. Ha! Okay. I think I have a better grasp on it a little bit. Okay, so Gear 4 Luffy, which is really funny. Whoever named this, they call it V4 Luffy, which is funny. I think it's gonna stick. This is submitted by One Shot Kill. Great job, One Shot Kill. V4 Luffy. I like the name. I think that's gonna stick. I don't care if it's version 4 or not. That should stick. V4 Luffy sounds funny as hell. So for Gear 2 Captain ability, which is basically if you're using the Captain action there, it's going to be a 3 times attack and 1.25 times HP to the entire crew, and then increase the orbs. This is probably the base Captain ability. The first one's a base one. The Gear 3 Captain ability is going to boost HP by 1.25 and increase the rank of Strength, Quick, and Psy orbs, meat orbs by a large amount, and treat Strength orbs as beneficial for the team. After hitting 2 consecutive perfects, boost attack of the following units by 3.5. So it's like a really good G3 with, actual 3 times boost initially. I don't know. Is there? Do you think the first 2 units also have a 3 times boost, or do they not have a 3 times boost? Or is that like a no times boost and then a 3.5 times boost? So it's like a G3 unit. So it's actually G3, but like only up to 2 units. So that's it. What's really interesting about this Gear 3 Captain ability is that it's going to increase the rate of strength and quick side by a lot. So that's interesting. The Gear 4 Captain ability is going to be the one, I believe, if you use the special ability. So the way it works between Gear 2, 3, and 4 is you can freely switch between Gear 2 and Gear 3 anytime you want during the adventure. So it's like a Captain action swap between the 2 forms. So that's interesting. It's more like a dual unit than anything else. So that's interesting. I think it's like a dual unit style Captain ability with Captain action with only 1 unit. So it's just like a swap to me. And then you can only transform into Gear 4 when the gear power meter is full. The gear power meter is going to fill up every time you hit a perfect, or a crew member consumes a recovery orb. So you have to gain enough gear power over the entire adventure. I don't know how much gear power that's required. I don't know how many perfects are required, but you do have to hit a certain amount of perfects and then a certain amount of recovery orbs, which is interesting. Okay. Gear 4 Captain ability is going to boost the attack of all units by 4 times and HP by 1.25. It's going to increase Strength, Quick, and Psy just like last time. Treat Strength, Quick, and Psy as beneficial now. They weren't beneficial before, but now they are beneficial. Reduce damage taken by 20%. This will reduce Gear 3 power for every unit that attacks hitting 0 Gear power, revert you into Gear 2. So is this a captain action or actually the special? It's so confusing. And the final captain ability is going to be Gear 4 Tankman. And it's going to be 1.25 times HP and 4 times attack to the entire crew. Luffy himself gains a 4.25 attack boost and increases strength, quick, and Psy orbs and makes them beneficial to the crew. Reduce damage taken by 50% and requires 10 meat orbs consumed to activate this Gear 4. Same consumption of gear power as the other Gear 4. I think with gear power, we're really not going to understand how it's going to work until we start using it. But overall, this is insanely strong, but very complicated. Very, very, very complicated. This is way more complicated than Frankie. But I think people are going to be much more willing to try out this unit than they were Frankie because he's coming on the anniversary. So that's also interesting. And I believe this unit is going to be a fighter, and I'm hoping he's fighter free spirit, just like every other Luffy, because that means that you can use Frankie with V4 Luffy. Because if you aren't lucky enough to pull your V4 Luffy, and you can use Frankie as well, that is awesome. You have friends, which would be nice. So Frankie, I think, just got even more viable if Luffy is a fighter. I would be very surprised if he wasn't a fighter, because I don't remember too many Luffys that weren't fighter free spirit. It could be fighter powerhouse. I mean, that would also make sense. I don't know if when you transform between G3 and G2, if there's going to be different captain abilities, different ways you can be treating the character or whatnot. I don't know any of that, but I do know that if he is fighter free spirit, this is definitely another great unit to use with Frankie, which I'm happy about, because you can't always have the best unit in the entire game. But if you do have Frankie, now you can use that unit too. So overall on G4 V4 Luffy, I like him. He's very complicated. And I think this is what a lot of people wanted in a unit. They wanted a unit that was really weird, different, and fun, but also extremely powerful. And I think that was one of the biggest problems with Frankie, is that you didn't have that kind of unit. But now, both of those units actually go together, and actually the best captain ability in the game, I think, is going to be the V4 Luffy, because it's completely universal. Use whatever subs you want on the team, and a Frankie friend captain, or vice versa. And I think that's really, really strong, and I think that's going to be used a lot as far as teams go, because that is going to be an insanely strong unit. Of course, the double V4 Luffy team is also going to be great, but you may not be lucky enough to pull him, and I think that would be great. Okay, so let's go over the Sugofest. I'm trying to figure out all the details of the Sugofest, and there's like a lot of different weird posts on this, but there's like only a couple people that have all the information, so I'm just like perplexed on exactly figuring out what the details are of the Sugo, but let's go over them. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is there's going to be apparently there's a new Kalo useless kid 2 years later, and then he's going to say that all new units will have -6 cooldown and 1.25 stats against him, so that's a new Coliseum unit. I don't really know much about that. Also, Sanji, Baeju, and Nami and Luffy will be boosted in the next Big Mom Treasure map by 1.35, while the rest of the units best are 1.25. So, interesting there. And it seems that Baeju and Sanji are limited to part 3 and 2 of the Sugos respectively, just like Shanks and Boa. So if you do want either Sanji or Baeju, just like last year, you have to pull on part 2 and part 3. So, here's where it gets interesting. So, what we do about the Sugofest, it is going to be a 2 times legend rate banner, which is a little bit lower than expected. However, they do make up for it, because every two multis, you get a guaranteed legend. So, that's a lot of fucking legends. So, I'm okay with it being a 2 times legend rate banner and all gold, because every 2 multis, you get a legend. And here's the really cool part. The second multi-pull is going to be a guaranteed legend. The fourth multi-pull is going to be a guaranteed Straw Hat legend. I don't know if it's all the Straw Hats. I don't know if it includes TS Luffy. I don't know if it includes Frankie. I don't know if it includes all of them, but it probably does. So, the entire list of Straw Hat legends: Log Luffy, fuck. TS Luffy, fuck. The new Luffy, new Nami, Frankie, Usopp, Robin, Zoro, Jinbei, and Sanji. So overall, that's a very large unit pool of Straw Hat Legends. Only 50% or less of which are good. The rest are kind of like, the 6th multi-pull is going to be a guaranteed legend. The 8th multi-pull is another guaranteed legend. And the 10th multi-pull is a guaranteed banner unit legend. And go over the different banner units specifically, but then when we also get into a guaranteed max special legend, another guaranteed legend, guaranteed rate up legend, and then 18 is another guaranteed legend, and then the next one, the last one, which is the 20th multi-pull, is a guaranteed rate up max special legend. So the selected legend and guaranteed legend, I'm very confused on. I want to see the whole pools and figure out everything there, but that's interesting. Part 2, the Sugo is going to have go up to 12 multi-pulls, so everything, they're obviously wanting you to do a total of 32 plus 44 multis? 44 multis? Jesus, how many gems is that? Or 2,200 gems. I don't have that many. I'm not going to do that many pulls, so I mean, that's weird. It takes 1,000 gems to do 20 multis. So I guess if you wanted to, you could do 20 multis on the first day if you have 1,000 gems. I can do that. I don't know if I'm gonna. Part 2 is going to say be a guaranteed 4th anniversary Sanji. Part 3, 3rd multi is going to be guaranteed legend. 5th multi is guaranteed legend. 6th multi is guaranteed rate up legend. So I kind of want to do 6 multis on part 2 because on part 2 we got some interesting rate up units. The 8th multi-pull is guaranteed legend. 10 multi-pull is going to be a guaranteed max special legend, and the final 12th multi is going to be a guaranteed rate up legend. On the third page, it's going to be guaranteed 4th Anni Baeju. 3rd multi is going to be guaranteed legend, and 5th multi is guaranteed max special legend. 6th multi is guaranteed rate up legend. 8th multi is guaranteed legend. 10th multi is guaranteed max special legend, and finally the 12th multi-pull is a guaranteed rate up legend. Overall, these are pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to do that many multis, but if I do at least 700 gems on the first day, and then I do 300 gems on the second day, that's a guaranteed rate up legend plus whatever 700, was that 14 multis? So I'd go up to a guaranteed legend. I'll probably want to go to 16 multis, so that's 1,100 gems that I have to do. So if I did 1,100 gems total on the Sugofest, which I do have, then I can do 16 multis to get a guaranteed rate up legend, and on the first day with all the other crazy legends that we're gonna do. And then on part 2, we could do up to 6 to get another guaranteed rate up legend if we wanted to. What's really interesting too as well is that on part 2 and part 3, part 2, 3rd anniversary Shanks is available, and part 3 is 3rd anniversary Hancock is available. If you guys don't know, 3rd anniversary Hancock is trash, whereas 3rd anniversary Shanks is kind of interesting because he's a 50% healer, which is only really seen inside of Raid Barto, so he's another unit that actually does that, which is good. And he's also Slasher Cerebral, I believe, so you can fit him on different teams than Barto, but he doesn't have that damage cap. Barto is definitely better by far, but I mean, you could pull Shanks if you wanted to, I guess. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out any of the details of the boosted units on any day, but I did figure out the banners. I did find the pictures of the banners, courtesy of this guy named Duke, who's future traveling for us and got it all for us. So, on the banner, it looks like on part 1 of the banner, we have all of the new units. We have Carrot, Pedro, Brook, and Chopper available on the banner. Then we have the boosted, 2 of the boosted legends on the banner, which are going to be Straw Hat Legends, are going to be Frankie, Nami, and G4, which is interesting. So if you do pull any of those 3, I think you should be pretty happy because those 3 are pretty strong for this banner. I think they're all good. Part 2 of the banner is going to have Brook boosted, Pedro boosted for the new units. Then it's going to have the 4th anniversary Sanji, the 3rd year anniversary Shanks, 20th Zoro for some reason. I don't know why the fuck he's there, but he's there. Then we have V2 Akainu, V2 Dofi, and finally version 4 Luffy, of course. The next is going to be on part 3 of the banner. We have Carrot and Chopper boosted there with the 3rd year anniversary Bow and Hancock. And then we have the 4th year anniversary Baeju. Then we have Valentine Koala? I think that's Valentine Koala. Then V2 Aokiji and Robin, as well as the new Nami boosted. So as far as the days go, I'd say no matter what, everybody should probably be pulling on day 1 unless you really want something on part 2 or part 3 specifically. But as of right now, even though we don't know the pools of boosted units and everything, which will probably be in a separate video, that's who I think you should be pulling for overall. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this episode of my One Piece Treasure Cruise News. My name is Sekapoko, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you smack the like button down below, as well as the subscribe button down below, so we get lots of support on the channel, and of course, keep the channel growing. If you guys do want to get notifications on all my videos, make sure you hit the bell notification right next to it so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace.